Hey, everybody, this is James Pelton. I hope you had a good weekend. I have started taking Sundays completely off, so it's kind of nice to get back into the swing of things. So we have an AMA. Of course, what better way to start off a week than an AMA, right? Looking at a new project. So appreciate you guys who are watching in the audience. AJ, Gabo, good to see you guys. Please hit the like button as we're getting started. And again, I love for you guys to direct the conversation as much or even more than I do. I think you guys are smarter, you have better questions, all those things. So please bring up any questions that you have. We'll talk through those, and excited to talk through this project. Also, shout out to Tanveer, my thumbnail guy, for getting a lot of good comments on the thumbnail, me in the astronaut suit. That is not an actual photo. He obviously photoshopped that. Okay, I am not an astronaut in any way. So welcome to the channel. Thanks for hopping on. Can you start out by introducing yourself, and then we'll dive into the project a little bit?
Absolutely. So I go by Various, sometimes 0x Various, mostly by Keith. That's my real name, Keith Bussey. So nothing to hide here. Just before I jump in, I want to say that spacesuit does look great. I really wondered if you went to space camp. And now I know the answer. Sadly, no.
Nope. Sorry. It's a Photoshop trick. You know how those go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been involved in essentially the NFT and game side of the space for probably about 2.5 years now. I've been in tech for 20 plus years, mostly with startups. And yeah, we've had a lot of success on the NFT and gaming side, doing things like we were the first dynamic NFT with Whelps. We've worked with Marvel and DC comic artists on a project. We have multiple games in development. And a lot of that got put a little bit on pause due to the bear market, because we are self-funded and we've been planning and hoping to stay that way and not go the VC route for multiple reasons. So essentially Nexus War is my first personal project in the space. And it's something I had a lot of time on my hands. We decided to stop working with clients for the most part and focus on internal development. So it's something where I was like, hey, you know what? I found this group of people in DeFi. They were getting rugged left and right, which is no surprise. And I wondered if I could bring over a few of the things I was doing on the other side and kind of make something work for them, work for myself, and kind of use some of these ideas and creativity to build an ecosystem really that eventually I want to tie everything into the other stuff we're doing. But to start, it is standalone. It is its own ecosystem, its own project. And then we'll see where it goes, if people like it and like some of the ideas being brought in. And of course, if it makes people money, that's probably the bottom line at the end of the day. So
right. Yeah, not rug pulling and making money are kind of, we have pretty low standards in DeFi these days, but it is true. Not rug pulling and making us a little bit of money. Sometimes we don't even care about how much, just not negative is what we're looking for.
Yeah. So, well, I can guarantee one. I can't guarantee the other, but I can guarantee we'll try at the other.
Okay, fair enough. That's better than most projects. So you're starting off on the right foot. So, so can you kind of explain to us what is the ecosystem? What do you have already? How does this fit into it? And just kind of walk us through the ecosystem a little bit.
Yeah. So what we decided was, as a tech company, we're building out a lot of services right now that are all private label or trustless service offerings, so that anybody can use them, take advantage of them. And of course, there's some type of fee involved typically. So I thought about here two that made the most sense, that were appealing to me, stuff I wanted to try. So one of them is a game framework where it's not a game of skill. It's very minimal as far as the term game. So I use that term loosely. It might be a little closer to gambling, if you want to call it that, but a little bit of game strategy, a little bit of game theory. Everything's going to be enforced by Chainlink for the, as far as all the random number generation, and everything's going to be audited for the game contracts and whatnot. So it's really something that people who right now are gambling their money away anyways might have a little different style, a little more fun, something that hopefully can build and engage the community. And we'll see where that can evolve to. At the end of the day, though, it is going to be a private label service, so this is like a live proof of concept for it. And if people enjoy it, we hope other projects in the space who want to find some extra utility or deflation for their own token can plug it into this for a rather small fee, and then just keep building our ecosystem, our community, while giving them those benefits that pretty much every project's looking for. as far as we come across. So that's where this started from. And then as we thought about what else makes sense to plug in right away, we thought about the liquidity. And so we looked at doing our own DEX, originally not to compete with other DEXs, but as we determined, okay, there's a lot of problems with a new project establishing liquidity. It's vulnerable to a lot of types of attacks if someone felt, they wanted to attack you. And how can we prevent most of them, or at least do our best efforts to protect things? So the number one way was not to have an order book. That's like by far the source of most attacks. And then there's, FUD style attacks, which are more non-technical. And we're like, what can we do about those?
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? Can you explain what is an order book and how that fits into the DEX?
Yeah, so on a normal DEX, an order book would essentially be stacking the people submitting, if you're familiar with like a limit buy or limit sell, and they're stacking orders in sequential manners, and then the DEX handles those the same way like the stock market works and the same way Forex markets work, and pretty much everything works. And a lot of things like front-running attacks and other, more technical attacks, they take advantage of being able to have visibility into those order books and then doing things to manipulate it. So by not having one, not letting people set up those types of orders, we effectively kill those types of attacks, like just dead stop. So the circuit breaker is something that I found interesting that nobody really uses. And it is something that's been around in stocks and Forex markets forever. The problem there is it's not automatic. It's not trustless. Like if you have suspicious activity on a stock, it'll get halted. There's different codes, there's different reasons, but sometimes it takes days to unhalt. It's lost its momentum. People lose money meantime. It's a terrible mess. So we thought, what if we just automate this, build it in, where it's something that can protect from certain types of attacks, where you get that snowball effect rolling down a mountain, where a lot of people are not even realizing, what happened. Was there actual bad news? Is this just someone wanted to tank it and, buy it up at a cheap price? So this is something that doesn't prevent people from selling, but it gives them a few moments to just kind of think about it. And for bots that are set up, it'll prevent them from automatically triggering. So we thought this was a pretty cool concept to use. We didn't find any DEXs using it. And we said, hey, let's be the first. Let's put it in for our own needs. And then if other people want to take advantage of it, that's completely up to them. And if they feel like using it, there'll be a small fee that'll benefit our ecosystem.
Okay. No, very good. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I love having some education in addition to talking about the project.
Yeah, I try to keep the tech stuff off my AMAs just because there's a lot of people who won't have a clue what we're talking about. But
yes. Nope. You are exactly correct. So, okay. Well, just going down your white paper here, can I skip down? Let's start with what is available. So you have this Nxus token. Do you want to talk about when that's going to be launched, the price, and those things?
Yeah. So we're actually doing our private round pre-sale on February 21st. And that is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tuesday. And we're going to do it. We are offering guaranteed allocation to people who have come into our Discord, claimed a role by submitting their wallet called the Space Maverick role. We are going to cap that this week. We're not telling people at what number, but we have a number in mind that we're getting close to that we're going to cut it off. And then the way guaranteed allocation works is the first hour of every tier, everyone has the same allocation. And if you come during that hour, you're guaranteed to get it. There's no race. There's no first come, first serve. After that hour is up, for whatever's unused and unsold, then anybody else who wanted more can grab some. So we don't believe in things like oversubscribing, which is a pet peeve of mine with whitelists and all kinds of other projects. If you've come in because you've been invited, or you're in some of our communities of friends or places, we really tried to build this with organic quality people. So right now, if you look at our Discord, it's a fairly small group. There's maybe 200 something people. We're thinking by sale time, it'll be around 300, 350. Yeah, we're trying to keep it small on purpose right now and make sure the people in there are actually interested in the project, understand the project. And for those people, they should be guaranteed the opportunity to buy at a discount. And that's what we're doing here.
Okay, very good. So that's kind of the private. And then when will public launch be?
So public is a little bit up in the air. We know that it'll be 5 days for the private sale. assuming all goes well, we're already lining up some marketing initiatives, but we're definitely going to be marketing a lot harder, and we have a budget from the private sale specifically for that marketing to market the full project then and the public sale. So depending on that, it's very possible the public sale might happen a week, 2 weeks, maybe up to 3 weeks after the private sale. We're not going to rush anything, but it's all about the momentum. So could be sooner, could be later. Everything's ready for the public sale right now, but we don't want to put a date on that yet till we see how the private sale goes first.
Okay, gotcha. And if people want to be part of the private sale, they just need to hop in the Discord, and there'll be instructions there for kind of getting that. Is it a whitelist? Is that how it works?
Right now, they just have to hop in. There's a channel called Submit Your Wallet. It's in every announcement every day that we remind people. That gets them to claim the OG role. They simply submit their wallet address, and that's it. They're good. There's no obligation. You don't even have to actually connect your wallet. You can simply submit it through the bot. So there's no danger there. There's nothing to worry about. And yeah, we are going to cap that at some point this week. We're not announcing when or what number, but I will say it's going to be soon.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, if you guys, that's a free thing to do. So go hop in the Discord and, just start to get to know the community. I always recommend that. Any project you're thinking about being involved in, go hop in the Discord and just see if it's a community you want to be a part of. There's different feels to different communities. Some are, more joking around. Some are more business. Some are a mixture of the two. Some are hostile. Some are more kind and helpful. So go hop in and just kind of, see if it's a community you want to be a part of. Then can you tell us about the planets? I assume we'll be talking more about these as we kind of go down further. But when will these be available? And we'll talk what they are here in a little bit.
Yeah, so they're going to be available after the public sale closes. Potentially, if the public sale is going for an extended period of time, meaning we set it to go maximum 30 days. But let's say it's on day 20 and things have kind of stalled a little bit. We might start this to kind of jumpstart it because it is an auction. So we know from DMs already, people are very interested in the planets. There's only 5 of them. So if the auction actually heats up and gets a lot of competition, that might spur people still buying from the public sale itself to have more tokens to bid, right? So it's something where we're planning for it to be right after the public sale closes, but potentially it could start within the public sale period itself.
Okay, love it. And then what are the NFTs? How do those work?
So the Jumpship is essentially, if you want to play the game, which you don't have to do to invest in the ecosystem, the Jumpship is key. You need a Jumpship to actually do any of the actions, meaning explore, attack, and play the kind of minimal game that we're offering. But the Jumpship itself is also going to be a passive income NFT, which we can get to in the passive income section. And the same with the planets. So whatever you purchase here, outside of the loot boxes, the gear box and siege box, those are purely about the game itself. But everything else you buy, you're buying into the ecosystem, not just to play the game.
Okay, very good. This is actually really cool. My community, I've been talking about a spaceship game that I'm kind of working on, which is a similar idea where you have these ships that are different passive income opportunities, and they're exploring for asteroids, and then you can build mines on the asteroid, which is other passive income opportunities. So
yeah,
looks like you have
to the punch. Long list of ideas for if this goes well. And part of that is space mining. So,
okay. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love it.
So
maybe
there you go. You get a bit of alpha that, maybe, who knows, maybe our ideas are going to align and we'll work something out.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm keeping my ears peaked. So yeah, we'll find that out. So let's go. I love this because so few projects talk about this. So I'm so happy. You have a whole section, revenue opportunities. Do you want to kind of walk us through where revenue's coming from? What are potential, people are always wanting to know, when is ROI going to be, things like that. Do you want to talk us through some of that?
Yes. So Nexus, first of all, is the actual token itself. And there's a lot of utility tied to the game and to the services. We do have other ideas for future utility. And the key about it is there's no taxes, no fees. It is going to be deflationary from day 0, meaning that there's a lot of things you'll see, even as simple as an action when you want to attack someone. There is a burn component to a lot of these fees and utility. So it is going to be, hyper deflationary at if the game gets a lot of activity, actually. So if you're investing in the token itself, it's just like any other token you would invest in. You think the ecosystem is going to do well, and you just want to make money on token appreciation, right? So that's kind of what you can do with the token. It's not very different, other than we feel the tokenomics around it are pretty strong and well developed. So game and prizes. This is if you like this type of thing, you like gambling, you like a little bit of game theory. This is absolutely where, you know, a lot of the fun comes in. Where, yeah, there's different ways here. There's obviously a fairly large grand prize. Now, I will state, we don't hide the fact this is percentage based, and elsewhere in the docs, it does show the breakdowns. But meaning, let's say Jumpships, we have 500 of them, 50% of that goes to the grand prize. Now, let's say we only sold half of them, that grand prize would also be cut in half. So we don't want to mislead anyone. Actually, we do have a notice right on the page here. You know, it does say they are percentage based, and you can see the breakdowns. So
these are the numbers if it all sold out.
Yeah, we always base the numbers on a sellout, right? It's psychologically we're confident in the sellout,
right?
But we want to make sure people are not misled, and you know they understand it is percentage based. But to that end, it also means that even if a little bit sold, or even if you know a quarter sold, there's still a game, there's still a significant prize, right? And it means there's less competition in the end. So it's kind of a give and take. You win a smaller prize, but you have less competition for that prize. So
gotcha. Okay, very cool. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. All right, what about the NFT trading?
So this one, there's not a lot to say about. I mean, if the game is popular, there are limited quantity. So if somebody wants in, NFT trading is typical, right? You can trade it on any of the marketplaces, sell it, try to flip it for a profit. The other thing about the NFT trading is if the passive income is being proven, right, and those jump ships are earning significant amounts of money potentially, that's something where you could trade those NFTs maybe for, hey, maybe you just want to get a quick cash out. You don't want to see if this is sustainable for long term or take that risk, right? So NFT trading is just marketplace trading, and it comes into play even with the loot boxes. There's different rarities of some of the items. So potentially you want to have that little extra edge in your exploration phase or attack phase, and you'll just go grab one from someone selling one who doesn't care about playing. So there's not a lot to say about NFT trading. It's pretty standard.
Can I ask, did you base this game around any other game, or did you take just concepts from different games that you've played, or how'd you come up with some of the ideas?
We've done a lot on the GameFi side with Master Brews, my main company. So there's a few things that are taken from there. In particular, we had a project that we had to put on the shelf when the market crashed. It's called End of Days, and it was a seasons-based game. It was a fully on-chain battle tournament system, and it was based on different mythologies and different things. So a lot of these components actually did come from that one. You know, there wasn't the passive income or things like that around it. But yeah, I would say some of the core concepts, especially the idea to have seasons and how to grow them and how to expand on them and how to have the prize pools broken down. That's all from a project that we have sitting on the shelf that we still intend to launch one day, but now it'll be quite a separate thing. So it's not like it'll be a copy or an overlap.
Okay. And this is like Christmas. I love this. So there's passive income, which I love. And then when you click it, look at all these different things that are down there. That's awesome. Do you want to walk us through some of these?
Yeah. So this didn't start off this way, but then we realized the more people we talk to in our community and in other communities, this is where, you know, everyone's looking to right now. And if we neglected it, it's something that would definitely hurt our appeal. So we had to find ways to address it, which is hard because we wanted to already, of course, have passive income, but there's nothing out there that's as high yield as people want with as low risk as people want. So we definitely had some challenges here, but I think we found a good way. And yeah, if we want to jump into them. So investment fund, this was not originally part of things, but we will be taking a big part of the sale now and putting it directly into an investment fund. And then what we're going to do with this, you can see some of the ones we're targeting, like concentrated liquidity pools and grid-bot swing strategies. We're already back testing some right now, and we're already proving some out. You know, I was showing one that it's only been 3 weeks, but a very small test on one of these is already up 228%. And in the concentrated liquidity, to me, this is the most interesting one, the most long-term one. because the downside, if you're playing with, let's say, a blue chip token, a top 20 token paired against a stable coin, your downside is basically just holding for it to rebound. Your upside is, while everything's sideways, you're making a ton of yield on it with, a very small concentration. So to me, that's something where we have the most opportunity. And making 15 to 30% target a month for our holders is pretty realistic there, because I've been doing the CLP, probably almost a month now on different styles, different strategies, and the lowest one is achieved is 43%. So, it seems to me like that's something very sustainable if we aim for a little bit of a lower number averaged out. So I think that's the two areas we're going to focus our passive income strategies on. And we think, it'll be great because we can pay holders half the profits, reinvest some of it to our investment fund to grow that month to month, put some in the treasury, and then give the team a little bit, because the team doesn't get a token allocation with the way we set the project up.
Okay. Yeah. And I prefer that. I would prefer you guys take a part of the actual revenue rather than taking tokens, which may or may not, their revenue may or may not be there. And then you guys can, lower the price and it hurts everyone. So I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah. And what I see it as is it aligns our interests with our holders.
Right.
They're never worried about, are we making a decision to manipulate the price of the token so that we can have a dump moment, right, to get some cash out. So effectively, by not having a stake in it, some people have brought up, well, doesn't it show you're not involved, like you're not invested in your own project? It's not to say we won't have tokens, but if we want them, we're going to have to just buy them like everyone else.
Yeah. In some ways, it shows you believe in the project more, because you believe the project's solid enough where you want to just be an investor in the project. So I really like that personally.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go to Jumpship
Jumpship
holders.
We mentioned the Jumpships a little bit. They're an NFT, and essentially they are receiving a share from those profits. They're going to be receiving other things in the future, as far as, maybe special airdrops. Maybe they'll be able to produce mini ships like scout ships, or, different things from their ships as the game part of the ecosystem evolves. But yeah, if you even bought a Jumpship, you have no intentions to play the game, you can still hold it to earn part of what this investment fund is generating. Because right now we have no plans to let people just throw X dollars into the investment fund. At least until it's proven out over several months, we would never open up to people to deposit money, because that's where you get in trouble, right? Like someone deposits $50,000 and then you lose that money on them. Well, it's very different than if they bought an NFT for a set price. Maybe they're not earning as much as they hoped, but they're still able to do stuff, and they see progress. So yeah, we didn't want to be responsible for millions of dollars of people's money until we prove out these strategies over a long period of time. So
okay, very good. And the NeuroSynth Corporation. I like that. That sounds cool.
So this is by far my favorite part of this, that no one knows what it is, and no one's going to know what it is for at least until after season 1. We have been dropping little clues in our daily transmissions. We've dropped, if anyone can decipher that, great. Good luck to you. We didn't give you much to work with. But yeah, we really want to play on the lore a bit. But this actually will be an investment platform. I can say that about it. It's something different no one's done. It does involve real revenue and real games and stuff we have access to. But that's all I'm going to say for now. So for now, you'll just keep seeing it get teased, and if all goes well, it shall be revealed in time.
This is going to take the rest of my brain power for this AMA. I should have looked at this later. I see Pocket potentially. Maybe I'll do some work on it, see what I can come up with. All right, let's go forward to Planet Owners.
Yeah, so this was our original passive income that we wanted to give people. Essentially, if you win one of the planets at auction, then you own a planet, which is cool, first of all, just to say you own a planet. But actually, the Explore fees, you receive 100% of those, I believe it is. And, Explore is a major part of the game. So everybody who's paying Nexus to explore, all that Nexus is going to the owner of that planet they're exploring. So this is the first way to earn passive income. It is tied to our token, not external revenue. But then, yeah, you'll also receive a 2% share of any and all profits from the investment fund in perpetuity, like forever. So if we are making good money per month, that 2% per month is going to add up over time from, whatever we're making. And then, yeah, we're going to provide other opportunities. I'm not a fan of DAOs and how they're so misused and so overhyped, but we will give the planet owners, we'll call it the Planetary Council. They will have access to have some extra, I would say, input and extra early information regarding our investments, what we want to do, when we want to do things on planets like sell land or set up space mining or various features. So really owning a planet gives you a little bit more of an inside circle kind of feel, where you get access to the founders to really contribute a little bit more than your average community member would.
Okay. All right. And then service fees.
Yeah, so this one's straightforward. The game itself, the framework is going to be offered as a private label service. The DEX, anybody who wants to use it is free to. There'll be a hard-coded cost in that. And we do have other services we might release in the future if all goes well. So any type of those service fees, they come back to the ecosystem in the same breakdown as you saw the investment fund was broken down. So.
Okay, very good. And we will get to audience questions. I want to walk through the white paper. So if you have questions, just keep asking them. I'm starring them as I go, and then I'll start bringing up those questions if we don't get them answered as we're walking through this. So you want to go over the rental income?
Yeah, so this is much like the NFT trading. It's a pretty standard thing. We have some different ways we prefer to do it than some of the platforms out there. But essentially, if you have a Jumpship or you have some of the items and whatnot, you'll be able later to rent them out to people who they might want to try playing the game for a day instead of the whole season, right? They don't want to invest in a Jumpship, but they're happy to pay you $50 a day, $100 a day to rent the ship from you. So that's just another opportunity for income. If that's all dependent on the game being popular and people find it appealing, but it's a lower barrier for entry later, and especially as seasons go on and we want to expand the audience, it'll definitely be a way that you can earn some income from it.
Okay. And let's skip over the NFTs for now. Can you kind of explain how the game works? And then I think the NFTs will make more sense. Can you kind of explain how the gameplay actually works?
Yeah, so there's two phases to the game. The first phase is going to be your explore phase. And the reason this is a one-time phase and not ongoing is because we essentially want to guarantee everything is found, and we're using a weighted system for that. So it wouldn't work too well if you're hunting for, these BUSD caches or Nexus spheres, and let's say everyone finds them on day one. What are people going to explore for the rest of the season? Nothing, right? So we really want to set it up where it's a 72-hour window at the beginning of the season. You can buy your gear boxes, right? Equip your ship to give you a little bit extra edge. And then you set how many times do I want to explore each planet. Each jump ship gets one free exploration per planet. And then after that, it's on you if you decide you want to, purchase additional ones and pay them in Nexus. And all that Nexus does go back to those planet holders. So once the explore phase is revealed, everyone will know what they have. And then we get into warfare. And the object is to try to attack people who own a Nexus sphere and steal the sphere from them. It's not going to be an easy task, but it's something where you can choose, when and how you attack, how often. And if you're the sphere holder, because you're obviously going to be public enemy number one, you do receive 75% of the token used to attack you, and 25% of it gets burned. So it's all about just helping the ecosystem deflate and rewarding the people who are going to be getting attacked a lot. And, should you claim the sphere, well, great, you're a holder of it. Stealth attempt is something simple. If you're a sphere holder and you want to try to enter stealth mode, you can try up to 5 times a day. All that Nexus gets burned. It's fairly expensive compared to attacking and exploring. But if you succeed, you'll be in stealth and nobody can attack you for 24 hours. So that's just a little something we gave them to have an option to do something extra. And then there's 2 endgame scenarios. So if you click on the endgame tab, scenario 1, which I think is actually going to be quite difficult, but we shall see, is if somebody manages to collect all 5 Nexus spheres, immediately the season ends and they can claim the grand prize. Now, the second scenario, which in my opinion is more likely, is the 30 days end, nobody got all 5 of them, and then each sphere holder gets 10% of the grand prize. 25% will go to all the Jumpship holders, and the remaining 25% will do like a buyback and burn of the Nexus token. So that's probably the more likely scenario. But even if it's the case, if we sold out and you managed to get 1 sphere, 10% would still be 25,000 BUSD, right? So it's still a pretty decent prize, I would say.
Okay. Is there already, I'm a big spreadsheet guy. Do you guys already have people in your community putting together spreadsheets for, hey, if you want to just explore, here's what the numbers look like? And
not yet, but I think it's because we've been very careful how we've been curating and invited the community in. So we have I would say a fairly silent Discord, which normally would worry people leading up to a sale, but it is very curated. We talk to a lot of these people in there by DMs every day. Like some of them are DMing me all day long in my team. So we know the interest is there despite the fact they're not chatting so much. But I do think once the sale period ends and we get into the start of season 1, I think that's when you'll start seeing people putting together all kinds of plans and formulas. And, what I have seen to date is people trying to plan groups and alliances to try to win a planet together as a group, seeing how they can try to strategize the auction and do different things. So I think it will invite that type of strategy as soon as we get to that point.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. That's what I get excited about. That kind of brings me to a question too. It's uncertain if we're in the bear market or, a mini bull market or whatever is going on in the markets. How will the game hold up if you don't, let's say you don't even get half minted out, maybe you only get a quarter. How does that affect the game? And will you still move forward? Or is there a certain point where you'd say, no, we're not going to do it, we didn't get enough demand? Or how you think through that?
Yeah, so if the private sale were to fail, meaning we can't sell that out, that would be a massive flag that we either have to do one or two options. One is refund everybody, or two is see if people want to. The people who have purchased it, luckily, are going to be from those Space Mavericks. So they're all in our Discord, right? We have direct access to a lot of them. It'll be something where if they want to continue, potentially we scrap the game part, scrap some other parts that didn't appeal, and then just focus on maybe the income strategies and a couple of other things. Like the decks can still be something we can offer. And we have other services, a long list of stuff we want to build. So I think we're keeping an open mind about it. We've absolutely in the past on the NFT side, we've had drops for clients that didn't go well, and we enforced refunds to everyone because nobody wants to be in something that doesn't make enough to develop what it should, right? So right. I think that's on this side even more important. But yes, if the private sale fails, those are kind of the options we'd be looking at. And we're definitely open to, that's also why we're not building everything out until after the private sale. We want to make sure that we have the funds for marketing, for development, for whatnot. If we were to refund everyone in a private sale, it comes down to, all right, I lost my time, our team lost our time. We built a lot of great connections, right? We learned a lot of things. So it's not the end of the world. Now, if the let's say private sale sells out like we're expecting it to, public sale, Jumpship sales, if they don't do so great, it's okay. It just means that there'll be less of a prize or less of an investment fund going, but everything still works the same. Meaning the public sale, most of that money is going into the investment fund. Okay, if we have 100 grand in there instead of 300 grand, it's not the end of the world, right? We can still do what we're promising, do what we're saying. If Jumpships, like I said, if they don't sell the 500, they sell 200 or 100 or 50, it's going to be less of a prize, but also less competition, and everything's still okay, and we can still build on it. So the key to everything is the private sale. That funds all the development we need, everything we need for marketing, everything we need to get things kickstarted. And then the other two sales, the more the better. But if they don't sell out, it's not the end of the world, and everything can still function.
Okay, very good. So I think understanding the game, that makes the NFTs make a lot more sense. I assume you don't have to go through all of these. I assume they just do different bonuses in the game and things like that. Is there anything in particular you want to say about any of these?
Yeah, just some of the art is actually cool that it's all AI generated. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was very cool, and they came out really well. So very
That is
happy with
awesome.
how that worked.
I love
And
that we have AI generated art now because I have no artistic ability. So when I want to make a project, I'm kind of just out of luck. So this opens up a lot of
I
options.
cannot draw for the life of me, but I can give decent input.
That's right. I'm a good
Cool.
prompt generator, right?
Yeah, I'm using Playground AI actually for these, so that's been a fun one to play with.
Okay.
And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say about these. There's no pay to win, meaning that you only get a slight boost in your chances if you choose to do them. There's a bit of a collector thing to, you can only equip one of each, right? And if you do get the full set, you get a mini bonus. And because they have different levels of rarity, it might be harder to collect all of them, and not everyone can collect all of them. So there's a bit of, gamification going on there, but in no case does it give you like a major advantage over anyone else. It's a pretty small bump, and it's more for fun and for people who just want to collect them and experience that part of things. So
Okay. Good. Yeah, I was just looking through the art here. So it is pretty cool.
yeah. Oh, I will say though, for the items, because some people have asked, what if I don't open my box? Can I keep it? Will it migrate to season 2, or beyond? Can I open it later? So the answer is yes. You can keep it. You can open it later. I'm not sure yet if it's going to turn into automatically a box from that season, but what we do know for sure is that all your items can be broken down into parts. And we're thinking to have something like a space garage, right, or a shadow market. And these parts can be used to build new things in the future through NFT forging. So there's a bit of that going on and in the plans. So yeah, if you do get something here, it's not just for season 1. You're not just spending your money on a one-time thing. You can reuse them in some fashion in the future.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. Can you tell us about the Galactic Alliance? I assume these are just all the partners that you have. Is there some, you mentioned earlier too, that other protocols, there was some way that they can use you guys in some way. Do you want to talk through that a little bit?
Yeah. So first, it seems like we're going to have to add you in here, should you wish to be part of our Galactic Alliance.
I would love to do that.
But yeah, what that is, it's just our way of giving a little exposure back to the people, especially in the beginning, who've been helping us with videos, connecting us to their communities, whatnot. We want to add a nice little profile for everybody when we get the content. And this doesn't mean these are official partners. These are just people who've become friends, in the space and are helping our project, like our project. So nothing is official with any of them other than Warfi, who we do have an official partnership. That's our first one with. And several of the others, we're definitely looking at what they're building. And, we've brainstormed a lot of ideas, and there's things we might do in the future. But just so no one gets confused, like those are just friends or, the alliance, if you want to call them that.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. Are there going to be any kind of actual alliances or anything like that where?
Yeah, so we definitely thought about that. We don't want to pack too much into season 1 because it's already complicated for a lot of people. As simple as it is to me and maybe to you, there are a lot of people that it's already complicated. But as we see the reaction, if people want a little bit more game theory or a little bit towards going toward more of gameplay, yeah, we thought it'd be awesome to have alliances and betrayals as a system built in, especially around people who, let's say, steal the sphere and then they want to work together to get more of them. Right now, I would caution, we're not providing any tool for that. So if anybody tells you like, hey, I got a sphere, you got a sphere, like let's join up, please be very careful. Trust no one in space or in this space.
Right.
And yeah, we will build stuff in the future, I think, though, that will play into that more and offer some more game theory around such things, where then it is safe to use and safe to do and adds a fun element. But for now, yeah, people are on their own, and I would caution people not to trust anyone.
Yeah. No, I love that idea of just releasing more each season. So you kind of start simple, let's get it launched, then we can add more, eventually maybe you have full-fledged battles between alliance. There's all sorts of directions you can go.
Yeah.
Audience, if you have questions, please, I'll start bringing those up now. Thank you guys for being so patient. Selfish. I had my own questions I wanted to ask first, and now we'll get to yours. One final question I had is, I've been kind of waiting for, so these types of games outside of crypto are pretty popular. There's a lot of these type of, interactive games. How come we haven't seen these type of games work in crypto before? Like, I've been waiting, and there's been some that have, said, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, but I just have nothing seemed to work so far. Why do you think that is?
I think the majority have bad tokenomics from the start. We've seen a lot of this. We've consulted on a lot of people. That's a service my other company offers. And that's part of it. Part of it is they don't, they were wrapping utility in what they call a game, which is not a real game. And here we're being transparent. To me, this is also not a real game. Like, we're building video games that cost $1 million on the other side. And those are things you would be able to play on like a console system, right? So to me, that's more of a game. Whereas these were always kind of utility. So people caught on to that. And a lot of them didn't have the progression they promised. Like, they said, oh, we're going to add this feature, the season 2, season 3. None of them delivered on those promises, or very few, I should say. So I think that's a big part of the reason. The other thing is it might be too complicated to people who were looking just for a little bit of passive investment and, hey, I want to throw my money and hope it 10x's, but I have to grind at this game all day and do all these stupid tasks. It's not that appealing. And I really think that's the problem, is the grind. Like, I personally been a passionate gamer all my life, but I can't play games like these Farmville like style. And that's a lot of what was coming out, right? Where people had to log in every day. They had to do stuff where they fell behind. And I think that's part of the reason as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. I think that in crypto, people are coming into most things in order to make money. And so if you have just, 300 people playing a game and all of their goals is only to make money, then there's some challenges. So yeah, I'm still waiting. Hopefully this is the one, that works and gets people excited.
Like, what I want to stress here to people is, initially a lot of people look at it and get confused and go, oh, it's a play to earn or something. It is not. Like, a play to earn means basically you're playing the game, spending time to be rewarded, like drips of money, right? Or earnings or NFTs or whatnot that you can sell. That's not the case here. Here it is much more closer to gambling as far as the game goes, where some people are going to win, some people are going to lose. But that's just one part of the ecosystem. So.
Okay, very good. All right. Audience, you've been super patient. 42 minutes waiting for your questions to be answered. So thank you for your patience. Thanks for listening to me. Let's get to some of your questions. What is the minimum Nexus token needed to get started with playing the game and making some money? So again, yeah, a lot of people, what's the minimum dollar amount we'll need to kind of get into the ecosystem?
So you have to buy a jump ship, and the jump ships for season 1, because they're going to be special versus future ones, they are a little bit expensive. They're $1,000, 1,000 BUSD. So Nexus token wise, you actually don't need any. You do get a free explore with every jump ship for every planet. So if you purchase that jump ship, you're in, you get to explore each planet once for free. Maybe you get lucky and find some BUSD right away. Maybe you find the Nexus sphere right away. So you don't have to invest more than that unless you want to.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see. Maybe this will be covered. You kind of did talk about this, but the rewards that will be paid out, are they in native token or are they in BUSD?
So the grand prize and the BUSD caches, they're all in BUSD, which all comes from the jump ship sale. So the reason behind that mostly is because it's too volatile for people strategizing. If it's a 30-day season and it's based on our token, we've seen many games or cases where it starts off great. There's a nice spike in the token price. People are spending a lot to do these actions and equip their ship and do all these different things. And by the time the 30 days rolls around, they win the prize and it's worth like 1/10 of what they spent, right? And very hard for people to predict how that's going to go. So when people want to strategize and figure out their budgets, I think it's important that that's in a stable coin.
Okay, I totally agree. Any worries about BUSD right now on your guys' front?
No, I mean, I read the news going on, and first of all, yeah, I'm never too worried about the SEC. They take dinosaur years to do anything.
True,
And
thankfully.
the other part of that is, from what I've read, even if they do, Paxos, however you pronounce them, they've said that at least for a year there'll be no changes or movements. Like, so if it's a problem, it's like being kicked down the road. And I suspect by that time it's not even going to be something. There will for sure be someone who picks it up if they do drop it. So
okay, very good. AJ would like to know, good to get strategy straight from the founders, right? Is holding a jump ship better or a planet?
It would really depend on your individual goals, right? If you want to play and try to win the game prizes and participate in that way, you need a jump ship. If you're just looking for, hey, I just want to sit back, do nothing, and collect, the planet is probably more immediate because you're going to get all those explore fees on top of what you earn later. Whereas the jump ship, you'll earn more over time through the investment fund. So it's all about your personal goals, but Planet provides a more immediate track to income because you get all that Nexus from the Explore window, whereas the jump ship is more about playing the game. And then both of them do earn over time from the investments.
Okay, very good. And how many planets will there be in season 1? The answer is 5. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, look at that. I can answer questions too. So, where do I get my jump ship painted with a custom Serenity logo?
Well, for those who don't know, Serenity is actually our mentor in the academy, where we post a little daily video. He does an awesome job, gets into character. We're waiting for him to get into full cosplay for them. But
hey, I became an astronaut, so down home you can do that.
Got to step it up, Serenity. You know what? There could be a paint shop. There could be a space, like we said, a space garage. Maybe it can pimp your ride. We actually do want to have, not in season 1, but we do want to have ship customizations as something people can spend Nexus on for fun for future as well. So there will be ways to customize your NFT in the future. That's one of these never-ending list of ideas. But I think that one's easy to achieve and pretty popular. So I would expect to see it, not in season 1, but definitely in season 2.
Okay. Can you explain stashes on planets?
Yeah, so how you get them is pretty easy. It's during that explore phase. It's just like the chance of getting a Nexus sphere. It's the same. It's all going to be through Chainlink, right? It's all random. But you can explore once with your free explore and just happen to get lucky and get one. I think the top one was 5,000 BUSD per planet. And then there's smaller prizes and more of them. So essentially, it's an odds-based thing where you add up all the different explorers and then weight all the odds based on the ships with what gear they have. And you just have to get lucky and hit one of them. So there's nothing too strategic about it, other than if you want the best shot, you got to equip your ship to have that little extra boost. But even if you do nothing and just use your free explorer, you can definitely end up with one. So,
okay. And are the rewards for owning a ship perpetual?
Yes. So we especially want everyone that helps out in the beginning, more so than the future, to always have extra kind of privileges and rewards compared to everyone else. So everything that's given as a breakdown is going to be in perpetuity as long as we're able to generate money. You guys, if you're holding it, even if you acquired one later, let's say someone bought a jump ship on a marketplace later, they're immediately entitled to whatever rewards it has coming from that point on. So it's not something where we're putting a time limit. We're not putting a cap. Again, nobody's allowed to invest a custom amount at this point or anytime soon. So it's purely based on, hey, people who buy these support this idea. It's a little bit different. Yeah, we're going to reward you as long as we can, and there's no limits on that.
Okay, very good. Well, does anyone else have any other questions? I want to make sure we get them all answered. What I would appreciate, I always I'm a marketing guy, so I always like to end with really strong calls to action. So I'm going to give a couple calls to action first, and then you are welcome to give your own. For mine, the easiest thing, hit the like button. It's free. There's no reason not to do it. So hit the like button, not asking very much. It's just move the mouse down, hit the like button. Number 2 would be jump into the Discord. I would appreciate it if you guys just jumped into the Discord, checked it out, just start to get to know the community a little bit. Again, I'll post the link to that. Again, this is free option. Really, if you have any interest in this project, there's no reason to not hop into the Discord and just start checking it out. You can go follow them on Twitter. They have a Telegram as well. You can look through the white paper. Yeah. But can you remind us?
Actually, no Twitter. Wait.
Oh, no Twitter.
No, that's on purpose for now, and I can explain why.
Okay. Actually, I'm curious. Can you let us know why that is?
Yes. So we've seen this numerous times with clients on the NFT drop side, and including our own projects. When you start something new, obviously getting that first organic, group of followers is kind of time consuming, kind of difficult unless you're spending a lot on marketing off the bat. And now, obviously, I'm not talking about people who just buy followers and buy engagement and those type of practices, which I don't believe in engaging in. And I also don't think it helps long term. It's just garbage. So by not doing that, what we have seen, which is unfortunate, is there are people who want to invest in a project. They quickly skim, let's say, the Twitter account. Oh, there's not 10,000 followers. This is a failure. I'm not buying in. And we realized the best way to avoid that is to not launch the Twitter or the socials until after your successful sale. Meaning, maybe not until, like, after the private sale for sure. Let's say private sale sells out, everything's going well. There will be a lot of hype. There will be the market, the budget for marketing. So we're going to be spending all that on real marketing. That's when we can launch it. It's not going to hurt us. It's going to build up organically fairly quick at that point. And then the public sale, it'll be there. That's great. If we were to launch it right now, I guarantee we'd have maybe like a couple hundred people at most by the time we have our sale. And we feel that can hurt us for people that don't look a little deeper. So that's kind of the strategy and experience we've had with it. And that's why there is no Twitter yet.
Okay, there you go. No, that makes sense. Well, then disregard my call to action of following on Twitter. You can come follow me on Twitter instead, if that's what you want to do. And I'm sure, I have a feeling we're going to be involved going forward. Jason, of course, is a close friend of mine, and we are partnered on a lot of stuff already. And you're already kind of doing something I wanted to do, so maybe it makes more sense just to kind of hand to you what I was going to do. But we'll talk about that offline for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you remind people of the date? So if you want to get a whitelist, hop in the Discord and you can verify your wallet in there. Can you just remind people of dates, the private pre-sale, and just what they need to know kind of if they want to get involved?
Yeah. So February 21st, 6 p.m. GMT. That's when the first hour of the first guaranteed allocation tier goes live. Basically, you have to have submitted your wallet and have to be the Space Maverick role, which is a nice green role in our Discord. That's our OG role. If you're not, like, there's 100-something people sitting there who are not. I don't get why they are not. Some of them talk to me on a daily basis, and it's kind of okay, I'm not going to be able to manually add you. We're not letting the contract do that. So once it's in, we're not making modifications. And if you missed out, that's unfortunate. You'll have to wait till the public sale, which might be what some people want to do anyways, just see how it goes. But if you even are semi-interested, there's no reason not to, like I said, just hop in Discord, take the role, and then it doesn't obligate you to anything, right? Like, you can still choose to buy or not buy. So,
right. Nope. Totally makes sense. And Funny Taro says, join late, we'll watch from the beginning. Yes, the replay of this will be available right when I'm done. I'll put in chapters so you can skip around to the different questions if you don't have a full hour to watch this. But yes, join Discord, submit wallet to get whitelisted. Correct. And then February 21st, 6 p.m. GMT. I believe that's 12 p.m. Central Time for you Midwest Americans. I think that's right. But just go convert it. Google it. Use Chat GPT. It'll help you out.
I'm out in EST. So for me, it should be 1 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. 1 p.m. EST. So 12 p.m. CST. Yeah. So very exciting. Play to earn games or crypto games. Play to earn game. Maybe we should just get rid of that title.
We need to get rid of that term because I see it still around and starting to come out here. And on the actual blockchain gaming side, that's been like a dirty term for like over a year. So I'm like, no, you guys, you're just starting to use it. Don't.
Right. That term has been ruined forever. We haven't seen really anything good come out of that space. But I'm excited about this space if it's done correctly. And I think that this is the closest I've seen of projects doing it correctly, having real revenue, trying to make it a fun game that does benefit the token. It's not just a way to go make 5% a day. That's how some of those other games, that's, trying to make 5% returns a day and things like that. And so I'm excited about this and hope to partner as much as I can with you guys. So awesome. Very cool.
So my important question for you is, are you going to become a Space Maverick?
I'm submitting my wallet right now. I can't multitask very well, so once I'm done here, but absolutely. So,
and I'll put you on the hot seat. If you had to buy any one item, let's say whether it's the token, go for a planet, or go for a Jumpship, what would you go for?
Oh, That's a great question. I'm gonna have to really think through it. Personally, I've found that I'm not able to be super active.
Mhm.
So what would you recommend? That's a good question, actually. What would you recommend for someone who they want to play in the game, but they just know I'm in too many things, I'm not going to be able to be super active? What kind of strategy would you recommend for someone like that?
I would say it depends on the person's budget, because I think a planet is maybe one of the best options for that. But, that also might be outside people's budgets. It's an auction. We have no control over where it's potentially going to go to. I think the jump ship is still great because you get the free explorers, you get all the benefits that come in the future, you get part of the investment fund profits. You don't have to do anything for that. And even if you wanted to play, you then have the option with your jump ship where, okay, today I just checked in on it. I'm going to try attacking people a few times, see if I get lucky and steal their orb. No, okay. Like, you don't have to put in any time or effort, right? So that's how it's designed, where you get to play as little as you want. There's no skill, there's no practicing. It's just, hey, today I'm going to try like 5 attacks. I have a few extra bucks. Like, let's see what happens. So I don't think any of the strategies need you to pay much attention, but
Okay, very good. I love this. I'm excited for this. So yeah, really happy. And again, what I want to do is just help get eyes on it.
Mhm.
Just because it'll be more fun. The more people that are playing, the more fun it will be. If there's like 6 of us in there, it might not be that much
Yeah.
fun. So if we can get,
Yeah, I mean, we want to set up like live streams around the different events. It'll be great to have like feeds on when stuff, does get stolen, like a sphere stolen, make that a major event. And then maybe bring in some tribalism later, like, people are fond of certain planets, and start getting more customizations. And there's just so many ways it can go if it takes off successfully.
oh yeah, I have so
Yeah.
many ideas. But I like how you're doing it, not putting everything all at once, because that'd be overwhelming. So you kind of
Mhm.
start small, and we can work our way up. So awesome. Well, we will go ahead and close up there. We're at an hour. Audience, you guys are amazing. Appreciate you guys each and every day. Please hit like, hop in the Discord. I just submitted my wallet, so I was able to do that while I was doing an AMA. So not too difficult. And then Keith, thank you so much for hopping on, explaining this to us, talking through it, and for building.
Yeah, no, thanks very much for having me. And one last thing, which is maybe a surprise. I don't know if you do giveaways, but if you do, why don't we give away one of the loot boxes to someone who's on?
Ooh, yes, I do enjoy
Yeah.
giveaways. I think my
All right.
audience
I know we didn't
likes
discuss
giveaways as
it, so
well.
it's just a surprise, but
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and comment. Just comment hashtag space. We'll do that. And then I'll do a giveaway. Thank you, Claire, for showing me StreamYard has a giveaway tool here. Nexus War, we're matching hashtag space. Hashtag space. So I'll give you guys like a minute or so. So you better be quick. But yeah, hashtag space. And what are we giving away here exactly?
you know what? Let's make this the winner's choice if they want a siege box or a gearbox.
Okay, so again, there's the gearboxes where you get a solar cell, a Hyperion power cell, or the siege boxes.
Yeah. So one affects gives you a boost for your attack. One affects your ability to explore.
Okay, so are you a warmonger or are you a space explorer? Those will be the choices. So you'll be able to choose. So I'll give you guys another. Let's do like 10 more seconds. So hashtag space. If you are not watching this live, this happens every time. If you're not watching this live, you cannot be part of this giveaway. I'm so sorry. Inevitably tomorrow, I'll get all these hashtag space comments. This is a live giveaway right now. So sorry. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Start collecting comments. We got 15 people in. I'm going to draw any last minute ones. All right. Go ahead and draw.
All right.
So exciting. If your bonks wins, then I quit.
I do want to give a shout out to your bonks. I was about to say he should win because he's been having a pretty, not to get into his personal matters, but he's been having a rough time right now with his cat, Precious. So we send you all the best energy we can, and that's awesome. You just won.
Yvonne's won. And guys, you saw this is StreamYard.com/giveaway. There's no way I could have rigged this. for my best friend Alex to win. But yes, Alex, and I do hope your cat is.
No, I'm pretty technical. I could probably rig it, but
yeah, that's probably true. But no, congratulations, Alex. And I do hope your cat's doing better. Alex, we'll have to talk offline too, because my cat just had surgery as well. So we can connect and bond over cat problems as well. So Yabonks, get in touch with Keith and we'll get you taken care of. So, well, awesome. Great. Thank you for that surprise giveaway. I'm excited for this. Stay in touch and let me know, I'll for sure get out tweets. Since you guys can't, I'll for sure be getting out tweets and things like that, just to let people know, hey, this is launching, the game's going, things like that. So thanks for coming on, Keith.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, James. And thanks everyone who listened, who commented, and who's going to watch this later.
Yes. So. Totally agree. Appreciate all you guys and hope you all have a great rest of your